Good morning. So if you didn't catch it earlier, we went to the sauna this morning and did like cold, hot, cold, hot. We jumped in the harbor, which was great. It was really cold, kind of hurt a little bit, but it was a good experience. We are packing up and we are going to drop our bags at some point, do a little bit more exploring before we get on the ferry this afternoon. Ben's feeling a little bit under the weather today, so it might be a little bit of a slower day, but we'll see. We still have yet to get breakfast. It's like 10 o'clock. We've noticed that things here in Norway don't really open until 10 or noon, so they must just eat breakfast at home or something, which perfectly good. So I'm out here on the porch waiting for our ferry to come in. I just want to watch it, and we'll see what we do next.
I'm gonna be shocked if our suitcases make it through this. The snow is like really rough on them. And I did not buy a hard case like Kayla. I got a soft case because at the time, that was the only way to have an expandable suitcase. So I'm not sure I made the best decision, especially with the amount of cold and wet we've been in. So we'll see. All right, so the spot to drop our bags is not open, and they're not going to be open until Wednesday, which is 2 days from now. So we're just going to carry our bags. This is kind of a struggle. Good job, Kayla. You're thinking better than the rest of us. That was way more sketch than I wanted it to be. How was that?
That was delicious. If you come to Oslo, Kumi, it's a vegetarian restaurant, or a vegan restaurant. Vegetarian, I think. It's very good. Very good for breakfast, lunch, and a very good chai latte.
Their pancakes were absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10, would recommend.
I'm just waiting to slip on my butt
Yeah,
and slide all the way down.
It's pretty icy, that's for sure. Use the handrail.
But the handrail's icy too.
Yeah, I feel like at least my gloves I can grip onto that. It is definitely very icy up here. I won't lie to you. It's pretty treacherous. I can't talk sometimes. Pretty treacherous sometimes. So I don't know if I'd recommend everybody coming up here. Definitely bring your crampons if you have them. If you're coming to Norway and doing anything in winter in Norway, bring some chains for your shoes, bring some spikes. It's definitely a much better idea.
Woo!
We will check it out.
Good picks up
10
there.
out of 10 recommend. The penguin.
Quack, quack. I said walk like a penguin, not quack like a penguin.
Penguins don't quack.
What sound do you think they make?
I don't know, do they honk?
They squawk. Oh.
Slick.
Go to the snow. That got really sketchy really quick.
My intrusive thoughts were like, yeah, let's do it. It's windy up here.
It's very windy up here. Hey, I can see my house from here. Well, at least my house for tonight. That guy.
So we're on top of the Oslo Opera House, and we can see the whole city from a nice outlook. So next to us is the Dykeman Library that we saw yesterday. Then obviously we see the ferry that we are going to take tonight.
I'm really excited to even be able to do this. I think it's awesome that like Oslo has places like this that you can actually like be able to walk up, because I feel like in the US this is not something that would be publicly accessible. This is something that like require a tour and a waiver and like a limited amount of time. But the fact that you can just kind of come up here in the middle of winter and check out the whole city, it's pretty neat.
Pretty cool. And cold.
My lips are starting to get frozen. I'm starting to have trouble pronouncing words.
Do you need a coffee?
Maybe a coffee, maybe something warm, like a tea or something. Love a chai tea latte right now. And that's where Elizabeth and David are. Right there. Very tiny. I'm pretty sure that last building, all the way over there, was where our apartment was last night. No, it's the second to last one. It's the one I'm pointing at. Yes. One with the yellow wall. It's actually really not that cold when you're behind the shelter, but the wind here is wicked. I read on the temperature thing that's pretty close to, if it's 22 degrees, the wind chill is somewhere between 17 and 22 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's like, I don't know, like -10.
And why I have my scarf over my face.
Yeah, it's getting wicked up here. All right, we'll see you back at the bottom.
Headed over to the library to sit in the cafe and get warm before we have to make like the trek over to the ferry. My face is like
Cold?
cold.
Today we are in a snowy Oslo, and we will be taking a ferry all the way over to a not so snowy but still cold Denmark. So more specifically, we are traveling on the DFDS ferry. Supposedly check-in started at 2:30 and it's 2:30 now. So we are going to drag our luggage through the snowy Norway streets and make our way to the ferry. We have about a 17-minute walk, so it might be a bit of a struggle for us, but we're gonna give it a shot here. We've been dragging these around since this morning. We also hope to give a room tour on this. So we have two different types of cabins, so we'll give tours on those, but both of these are on the Commodore suite, which are a little bit more upscale. So hopefully if you're interested in those, or if they're worth it, we'll try to give a review in this video about that.
It's quite a walk. Hard to pull your stuff through slush.
Also, I think it says you can board at 12 if you have Commodore cabins. So, we waited for no reason. What the heck?
Drinks and stuff.
Yeah. Wow, and the room is cool.
Yeah. Elizabeth and I are snuggling tonight. Can't wait.
Nice. Why is theirs better than ours?
Because they are worthy of better things. We sacrifice.
We're not.
We sacrifice a lot for
We're in the
their
Commodore
happiness,
class, and they're in
for
the
their
Commodore class.
Would you rather have them be in the Commodore class? See, look,
No.
we sacrifice it for our lovely women.
Really nice out here, though.
We made it to the ship. Our accommodations are great. Boys in one room, girls in the other. Girls definitely got the better room in this one. We're out here on the top deck. It's very cold, so we probably won't spend much time out here, but we're still in port. We should be pushing off relatively another half an hour or so. So we're gonna go explore the boat. There's lots of shopping, lots of restaurants and food and stuff. So we're gonna go explore. We already accessed our deluxe lounge and had like snacks and drinks. So that'll hold us over till dinner. All right, let's go explore.
Let's do. The ship is a lot bigger than I expected. It's huge. And 11 floors is outrageous.
Behind door number 1.
Cabins.
Oh,
Ooh.
You want to go in there?
Sure.
Go. That was not what I expected when I opened that door.
I also like the fact that it's all decorated for Christmas. Beautiful ship. Oh, that's where we're going to dinner.
Over there?
In the Seven Seas place.
Nice.
It's Danish and Norway foods.
Love it.
We are nearly ready for departure and we expect departure in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Nice.
The weather forecast will avoid northeasterly wind, 8 to 10 meter per second, and during the night increasing to 6 to 8 meter per second.
Oh yeah,
Don't drop the camera.
I'll try not to.
That would be unfortunate.
I'd be very mad. Mostly just because of the last footage. So the other thing that we booked tonight was actually a Christmas dinner, which is in the Seven Seas Cafe, I think, or Seven Seas restaurant. So it's a little bit nicer of a restaurant. It's not the highest end restaurant that's on here. This one is more of a buffet. So we wanted to try this one for one or two reasons, really. But the first reason was primarily because it has all of the Norwegian and Danish foods. Yeah, it has all of the Norwegian and Danish foods. And then the second reason is because they offered a Christmas roast dinner buffet thing, which we thought would be kind of nice with Elizabeth and Kayla and my mother with us. We thought that would be a really nice thing to kind of do on the trip, to all sit down together and have a meal. And we wanted to make sure everybody could find something, so that's also why a buffet works a lot better for us.
Yeah.
If you want to go out the back, we can probably run. Ready? And go. All right, I'm gonna do a really quick room tour while I'm in here. I think I'm gonna try to turn on the other light. All right, so I'm gonna turn on all the lights here and just give a kind of quick room tour here. So David and I actually ended up splitting a room. So I'm sleeping in one half, he's sleeping in the other half. There's two beds. That's why there's two beds. So this is an inside Commodore cabin. So technically, this cabin doesn't normally get access to the lounge. Just so you know, I found that out today. So we have two beds, two separate single beds. Sometimes if you come into the room originally, you'll see that they're originally combined. You can just go to the check-in desk and ask them, and then they can, split the beds. So there is a small bathroom in here. So as you can see, it's much smaller. It's a small bathroom, a smaller shower. This is just kind of the quick room tour. There is a little mini fridge. As you can see, they give you like sparkling wines and some water. You can get extra stuff. They also give you free Wi-Fi in the Commodore class, which is really nice. So you can definitely get that. There's a little flat screen TV, a little area to work. Not too bad. So overall, it's really basic. No windows, but it was about, I think, half of the price of the other room. So it is significantly cheaper to book an inside cabin. So if you're looking to get free Wi-Fi and get free breakfast, you can book one of these and you're set. If you don't need either of those things, then you don't have to book this type of cabin. But if you want the even more upgraded service, then you'll have to do the cabin upstairs, which is the Commodore Class Deluxe or Owner Suites. Those are significantly nicer, and that's what Kayla and Elizabeth and my mother are. All right, I think that's it. Oh, and also a quick note is there's plenty of outlets in here to charge or do whatever you need to do. I do not see any outlets over near the beds, but it does look like there is plenty of other things. They do have like little nice posters, which I can't complain about. There's a nice map on the wall, so to be honest, I kind of love it.
They're cold, which I've never eaten a cold one before. But
Says I have either. Good, aren't they?
they're good.
So how did you feel about it?
I thought it was a great buffet. I think it's a great option if you come here, especially if you want to try a bunch of different like Norwegian foods, Christmas foods, stuff like that. Honestly, I had zero complaints. It was great. And there's so many options. My only complaint is that my stomach is not bigger and I can't try everything.
We found them.
Enrobed Oreos. We see these every time. We think it's funny because they don't say covered, they say enrobed. Good morning. We have woken up on our little mini cruise to the ferry, the overnight ferry to Copenhagen. And we're about 2 hours from port, so we have 2 hours left on the boat. We just had some breakfast. It's been great. Honestly, I didn't sleep too badly, and the boat doesn't rock a lot. I thought it was great. But we're just coming out here to see some of the sunrise. Actually, I think it's still we're about 45 minutes early for an official sunrise, but it's cold still. That's my update, is that it's cold still.
Honestly, the food and breakfast on this little cruise ship, that's what I'll call it. I'll just call it a cruise ship because that's basically what it is. The only real big difference is, like on a lot of cruise ships, they're all inclusive. This is most definitely not all inclusive. So even if you book dinners with places and prepay, I'm gonna try to get away from the events here. But even if you book dinners and prepay, it is often the drinks are not included, but you have paid for the food. So that is one trade-off that I think everybody should be aware of.
So you accidentally dined and dished last night and didn't pay for our water.
We did give them our room number, so they knew where to find us, to be honest. So, but we didn't. One thing that we did not realize is that the water was not included in all of our prepaid buffet meals. So it's funny because the waiter did tell us that it's very common, it happens all the time on board, that people don't realize that that the water is not free. So there's also a lot of places on board that are not free, like the cafes. If you do stay in Commodore class does include breakfast, which you don't have to pay for drinks for breakfast, which that's nice. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the good updates. That's something that I learned, so that I wanted to kind of share that. So if you're coming on this boat or you're coming on this ferry, that's definitely something to plan for in your budget. Also, I love that network name, Nowhere Networks. It's great. There does seem to be like a slight list to this boat, and it's been on since this morning. We only really noticed it this morning, so not really sure what that's about. All right, so our ferry is done. We just pulled up and we are now docking in Copenhagen. So we do have a little bit of time until we can actually check into our hotel. So it's going to be a few minutes for us, but we do have to figure out the public transit here. I did look up, there is an app called the DOT app. And I found out that you can buy, tickets for a whole day, which is really great. So I'm going to try to do that on my phone here. And once I figure out how to do that, I think we should be good. I should buy tickets and then we should just be able to take the trains wherever we want to go in Copenhagen. I did want to talk about the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi was actually really good on this boat. I cannot complain about it at all. It wasn't super fast, but it was actually usable for pretty much everything. I think you could watch YouTube videos in a pretty low resolution. You could pretty much do whatever you like. Sorry, the whole room is shaking because I think the boat is reversing into the dock. But you could pretty much use it for anything. There is a few limitations that I should note. One of those is that it will not let you access the Apple App Store, just because they don't want people to try to update apps or use a lot of bandwidth, so they disabled that. There's a bunch of other like random little websites that they have selected that you cannot use. I think it's just so that they can save on bandwidth, but I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that before they get on the boat and then think they're going to download a bunch of stuff or download a bunch of movies or anything. So if you're afraid you're going to be bored on this boat, definitely download all of your movies or books or videos or whatever before you get on this boat, so that you're not required to try to use the Wi-Fi to do it.
We are just arriving in Denmark, Copenhagen to be exact, and we're going to be exiting the boat in a few minutes. Everybody's kind of waiting in line, so we just kind of waited off to the side. And I think we're going to head over to our hotel to try to drop our bags before we start exploring the city. We need to figure out transportation here. It's been a bit tricky so far.
I think I have transportation figured out. I think we just have to buy a few tickets on the DOT app, but I'm not sure if I can buy tickets for each person or each person needs to buy their own tickets. So we'll be figuring that part out next. Looks like Kayla's giving an instructional class on how to download apps.
It's like a train station.
Yeah.